Hey, good morning. Yes, it is. It's Tuesday, November 14th at 5:05 Eastern Standard Time for you folks that are not sure where New York is. Well, I don't classify myself as from New York. I'm way up, almost to the Canadian border. So, today's video is going to kind of change the trend that I thought was kind of gonna work, but we'll see where it goes. But stay tuned, and I'll get into that. All right. All right. Welcome back. So I kind of put it out there to see what you guys thought, and I've been hearing this kind of that I'm posting too often, that it's hard for people to absorb so much information. But the way I had approached it was that whatever, if something happened to me per se, that there would still be a video collection for people to be able to, take what they can use, watch it, and then leave the rest, to help their particular circumstance in life and business and their personal life. But anybody that does these videos know it does take quite a bit of time. It's not just sitting in front of a camera, talking to you, which is the easy part. But you also have the editing, and that isn't really hard either, because I don't have a lot of edits in mine. I don't have anybody that helps me with my videos. What you see is a production of Eric's videos. As simpleton as they are, that's kind of who I am. So what I'm thinking right now is like posting once, maybe twice a week. Would that be better? And then maybe posting like a thought-provoking type thing, and then have like a business video, and then a how-to, maybe spend more time on how-tos. I'm not sure, how to go about the shorts. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time trying to watch some videos of people that are doing well with them. But the big thing is I think this channel could help out a lot of people. I think this channel could let a lot of people know that a lot of things that are going on in life with you, you're not alone. There's a lot of us going through the same thing. And then you have people like me and Amos and Santa. It's the older generation that has seen things before, had weathered the storm, and can give good solid advice of either just hang tight or try this, try that. And then with you younger guys that are on the channel that are good with social media and YouTube and all that is a means to get word out about your business, you could teach us older guys, the new media. And you could teach other people about how to use that media. But the channel has always been about being willing to give freely. There is no cost, $0. All I want you to do is succeed at what you want in life. That's it. Whether it's a bicycle repair shop, a small engine repair shop, a automobile repair shop, or a retail establishment over here. We're all in this same boat together. And when it comes time to take that journey. And that's what it is. It's a journey. No one gets to tell you how to take that journey. That's up to you. Now, you can take other people's advice, but that's all it is. Because if they tell you how to take the journey and you take the journey, they're not the ones that are going to suffer the consequences or the rewards of you taking that journey. And each one of us is going to take that journey a little bit differently. Some will catch on quick and treat the journey like a roadmap on how to get from point A to point B. But they'll also understand, because they watched these videos that I put out, it's not just about going from point A to point B. It's about the journey in between and enjoying the ride, per se. Because I think that's the biggest thing that's going on today, is what I call distractions. Distractions in life. 60-second videos. Scrolling through, gotta have it fast, instant. Gotta have instant gratification. I gotta have a like, and it's changing the society so that instead of enjoying what takes place between A and B, all we're concerned about is getting to B so we can switch again. Switch again. It's the gratification. So only you get to make the choices on how you're going to do it, when you're going to do it, and if you're going to do it. Period. Nobody can tell you how to run your life. Your parents, as you're growing up and you're still... See, I think even at today, a lot of 18 and 20-year-olds, I'm a little nervous about the maturity level. But, when I was 18 years old, I was married. And we had a child on the way. And I was working 2 different jobs to make ends meet. How many 18-year-olds are doing that today? How many 18-year-olds are doing anything today other than you guys that are in the service? Service will mature you up fastly. It will make you grow. It will turn you into leaders. Because it's the same thing I'm trying to say, but they have it in a condensed course, so that it happens in months and not years. But that's one of the biggest problems that I see with so many folks now these days, is that they're so used to like the instant gratification of an infant. An infant, has a response, they're looking for things to happen quickly. Every action has a reaction. And as a child, you're doing actions to have reactions. And either you're crying about it, or you're laughing about it, or have you. But as a child, a toddler, it's a whole new world. So they're trying everything. But if they don't get instant gratification, then a lot of toddlers give up trying to do something. And that's what I'm seeing today, is a lot of people want things now. They aren't willing to put the time in or the energy in to get the end result. And I think part of the problem is because we are not, as society, teaching our kids that if it's anything worth having, you have to work for it. Let me repeat that. Anything worth having has to come from you working hard to get it. Because then you're going to appreciate it. But if you're under the false pretense that you're going to become a successful business person in a year and that doesn't happen, what takes place? For most, they give up. And a lot of times, the reason why they haven't become successful is they haven't put the time or energy into it to make it become successful. Now we talk about, 1 in 10 businesses surviving. The other 9 fail. And it's not because people had no business sense. It's because I would take almost half of the 9 left over that failed, and I would be willing to put them in a category of not wanting to put the time into it. Okay? Because it is going to take time. People build their wealth. Why is it that people in their elder years have more money than ones in their late teens and early 20s? It's because they've built wealth along the way. They've paid for the mortgage on the house. So in their elder years, the house is paid for. But it may have taken them 30 years to pay off that fixed mortgage. But if you're in your 20s and, you're trying to figure out why it is that you don't have that wealth, most often the time, it's you haven't put in the time or the energy. And a lot of people have this misconception of being successful. Because being successful isn't just running a business. It can be defined by a successful husband, a successful wife, so many different things can be defined as successful. You may be one of the top employees, and that's successful if that's what you want it to be. See, becoming successful is doing things that you want to do or what you want to become. Period. And if you've learned anything, it's a lot of times from doing the work and becoming successful as, let's say, an employee, that you've also enjoyed the journey, and you know that you didn't do it alone. You had other people in your life that cheered you on, helped you up, dusted you off when you fell, and got you back on track. I don't know of one successful person that didn't have help. I know a lot of successful business people that want to tell you that they did it all themselves, and I kind of scratch my head at that, unless they aren't counting the people that they have ruined along the way to become successful. See, there's 2 ways to become successful in business, and that is, one is honest, and you are giving back to the community, you take care of your employees, you're doing everything right. And you created an empire, all right? And for that successful business person, they're not out there bragging about how they are successful. They don't look at that as being successful. Successful is that they're a great boss, they're a great employer, they're a great family man, they're a great, it's the whole rounded piece. Now, I do know of people that have shit on, have destroyed, have taken from other people to make their way to the top, and they tell you about how they had to, scratch and claw and this and that. But at what expense did you become successful in your eyes? And most often the case, that one will define themselves as being successful. They never had much time for their family because they were clawing and scratching. They'll tell you that nobody helped them, but they won't tell you about the people, well, some of them will, about the people that tried to help them in life, that they got stepped on, pushed aside, other businesses that they, ruined along the way, trash talked everybody, employees hate them. So, who is the most successful person of the two? I mean, I would hope you would choose the one that is doing everything right and is a good friend, a good father, a good boss, a good, well-rounded individual, versus somebody that would kill, steal, and pillage anybody along the way to get to their end result. There's one thing that I can remember. I use my grandfather a lot because I grew up. By the time I was 9, my mother had passed away from breast cancer, and back then they didn't have much they could do, other than try chemo, radiation. But it's not like it is today, where breast cancer is being defeated, and we're keeping a lot of moms here on this planet by the advancement of medicine. So my father, someone that had, returned shortly before from Vietnam, working as a nurse slash anesthesiologist, and he was not the same man that left. And I don't think you can say that about any of them, of our brothers, fathers, grandfathers, that saw any kind of action. That's the easiest thing. But back then, there wasn't much talk of, PTSD and that stuff. A lot of soldiers come home to a bunch of teenage kids calling them baby killers and everything else. But there my father was at a young age with basically 5 of us kids. I have an older brother, and I have twin sisters that are 10 months behind me. And then we have the youngest that is about 10 years younger than I am. That was my father's child, but from a different mother after my mother had passed. And we were living out in Lawton, Oklahoma at the time. And so what ended up happening was all 4 of us got shipped by plane back up with my grandparents that were, in New York. And we got kind of split up. All the girls went with Dad and his new girlfriend, wife slash what have you. And the 2 of us boys were left with my grandparents. And then it was shortly after that that my father passed away They say heart attack, but I mean, he wasn't even 40 years old. But my grandparents raised me. So a lot of stuff that I know and the values are from them and not my parents. We were a crazy bunch of military brats, if you understand that. You guys that have had kids and you're in the military, or you're one of the kids of someone that's in the military, we were hellion on wheels. And it seemed like every 2 years, we were being, transferred somewhere else and out of a different school. And you were lucky in those days if you could get with a core group of where all the parents were being transferred at the same time to another facility. So you took your friends with you. It was just a new environment, but you still had your old friends. And that was helpful. But a lot of stuff that I talk about with my grandfather is, he taught my brother and I about being the right kind of person in life. And he led by example. He didn't just preach. He didn't talk the talk. He walked the walk, as they say. But he had this saying, about if you were really good at something, you didn't feel the need to brag about being good at it because you already knew you were good at it. And the people that were constantly telling you how good they are at something were insecure about who they are and where they are and what they know. And they try to mask it by telling you how great they are. I mean, it's like someone that's been in special forces and they've gone through training. You're not going to see those guys on the street, or if they're a family member, bragging and feeling the need to let everybody know that they are a walking / killing machine. That it's all robotic to them. It's second sense now, because they've become good at that, doing just that. Whereas you have people that are constantly bragging about, how great a fighter they are, how good they are at this, this. And it's showing that they're insecure. Even they don't believe that they're good at what they say they're good at. People that are good at stuff don't need to brag about it. They know they're good at it. Period. If you find someone that's really good at business, they're not going to brag to you about how great they are at business. They can talk business with you, but they're not out there trying to convince you that they're great at business. They don't feel the need to tell you how great they are. So sometimes in life you have to look at people, and a lot of times the most successful people in their field are ones that are not out there trying to convince you that they are, because they already know they are, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to start wrapping this up. So in the comments, let me know what you think about maybe doing less videos a week and concentrating on other things that could be helpful, so that, as I've been told, that people want to be able to look forward to the next video, and if they miss a couple days, they missed out on a couple videos, and then they're trying to find the time to go back and watch them. And some people are worried that I'll run out of content, that I'm going through so much content in a hurry. My life is content. The weekdays are basically talking about just everyday stuff that, through my eyes, someone is older and can give good advice. Because I'm living the journey right now. My journey with this and YouTube started out with getting from point A to point B, which is becoming really good at or successful at being a YouTuber. But I'm enjoying the journey along the way. I am far from becoming successful at being on YouTube, but I'm old enough and smart enough to know that you need to enjoy every day along that journey. And I am, and I have. I met so many of you people that are nice, that are on the channel. And you guys have so much more to offer, and you're willing to give back and help the next person up. And you could be struggling right now, just try to make ends meet, and you're amongst friends. We know what it's like to go without. And we know that you're not the only one struggling at this time. And sometimes just knowing that other people are going through the same, it doesn't change our circumstances per se, but it gives us a feeling like we're not alone in this. We're not the only ones that are struggling or having problems in our lives. We all are in it together. So on that note, you guys have a great Tuesday. Post in the comments what you think about doing maybe 2 days a week, maybe. Because the other thing I can do is I can do videos every day and just not have a daily video and then just store it and then bring it out. I mean, I can do it that way too. But I think for the time being, depending on what you guys want to see and you guys let me know, would it be better for you guys if I only posted once, maybe twice a week at most, so that you guys can stay current with the stuff that I'm talking about that may be helpful, maybe something that's going on in your life that, the aha comes on, the light bulb. And now you know how to go about, how to approach something that's going on in your life. So let me know what you think. And thank you guys for all the support. I know I've said this numerous times about this channel, but this channel is more about you than it is about me. I may be the facilitator because I'm the one doing the videos, but without you, there is no me, right, for the videos? Because if nobody watches, well, you know what I'm saying. But anyways, greatly appreciate all you and you guys that are doing comments and stuff. The only last thing that I ask is, we're in it together. So, we don't want to have a negative side. I mean, everything in life, there's a negative side, right? But in the comments and stuff, if you can just be careful about getting into, a pissing match, basically, back and forth, I think it would be better. On that note, I'll catch you guys. We'll find out, right? We'll see. Okay.